It's officially been 10 seasons since I started collecting football shirts. And over those 10 seasons, this hobby has changed a lot. By the way, over here I'm holding the Real Madrid 15-16 away shirt with Ronaldo on the back. I started back in the 2015-2016 season when I thought that having 2 or 3 football shirts made me a football shirt collector. Spoiler, I was completely wrong. But let's say that it was the start of a problem, a very expensive problem. The prices have changed, the community, the designs, the market for fake football shirts, and even the way we buy shirts has changed a lot. So today I'm breaking down how football shirt collecting is completely different in 2025 compared to 2015. So when I started back in 2015, collecting football shirts still wasn't a thing yet. You basically had eBay, some random Facebook groups, and maybe a few local sports stores depending on the size of your city. And that was pretty much it. I remember that most of us bought shirts directly from the club stores, especially when the new season had just started. And at the end of the season, you were just hoping to find the nicest deals. So if you were lucky, you could grab a nice clearance deal or something like that. Fast forward to 2025, it feels like there's basically a whole ecosystem built around shirt collecting. Nowadays, you got so many places where you can buy football shirts. You got Depop, eBay, Vinted, all these random online marketplaces. You got specialist sites, you got auction houses, and you even got Discord groups and Reddit communities. And I didn't even mention all the Instagram accounts selling football shirts as well. So the truth is that collecting used to be niche, but it's not anymore. Back in 2015, an official replica shirt was about 70 or 80 euros. And at the end of the season, you could easily pick it up for 25 or 30 euros. Now in 2025, clubs are dropping shirts at 90 or 100 euros. And I'm talking about the official replica version of a shirt. So for example, a shirt with embroidered team crest. And authentic shirts like this one can cost 140 euros or even 180 if you want to get patches and a name set on the back. And by the way, that's the price before international shipping fees. But hold on, it's not just retail. The secondhand market has also gone wild. Shirts that were nothing special in 2015 are now rare classics going for 120 euros plus. And prices of 90 shirts like this France 1998 shirt have gone completely crazy. Long story short, it has become a more expensive hobby, which is quite painful for collectors, especially the new collectors, but it's great for sellers. But there's another huge change. The fake market has completely leveled up. I remember that in 2015, the quality of fake football shirts wasn't as good as nowadays. Some of the colors they used for fake shirts were off, or the badges didn't look as good. I used to buy unofficial shirts that looked quite official in 2015, just to wear them outside when playing football or during PE in high school. But in 2025, counterfeit shirt actually look very convincing. You know, we're talking about heat press logos, perfectly matching fonts, so name sets on the back, great materials used for the shirt, and sometimes even very accurate washing labels. This means that authenticating shirts has also become a quite difficult task. You actually gotta check so many things. Tags, stitching, the shape of the color, even the name sets on the back. There are just so many things to take into account when buying a simple football shirt. So if you're new to the hobby, spotting fakes today is basically a whole side quest. Clubs and brand re-releasing old classic shirts every year didn't really exist in 2015. Nowadays, you got retro drops from Adidas, Nike, Puma, you got anniversary kits, you got icon collections, and of course, I shouldn't forget the official club remakes of 90s kits. All these changes have made retro designs way more accessible, but on the other hand, they've also completely changed the market. Some collectors, like me, only want originals. Other collectors are also fine with remakes. And by the way, I'm not judging anyone here. The problem here is that some collectors think that the unofficial remakes of 90 shirts can possibly affect the value of original 90 shirts. You know, in my opinion, either way, retro shirts nowadays are a big business. And unfortunately, some mainstream vintage shirts have become way too mainstream. For example, the AC Milan 06-07 away shirt with Kaká on the back. I've seen that shirt everywhere. I can also tell you that design has massively changed over the past decade. I feel like a lot of shirts between 2010 and 2020 were very template heavy, and this was especially the case for Nike and Adidas. You could basically spot the same design on 15 different team shirts. Nowadays, we're in the era of bold patterns, some nice 90s throwbacks, crazy graphics, and the more bespoke or slim fit designs. You can clearly see that brands are experimenting a bit more, which also means that even the smaller clubs are getting very nice kits. And when it comes to the materials, they've changed as well. Fabrics used for shirts are lighter. We also got these heat applied team crests, for example, and even laser ventilation in the shirt that promotes airflow. So shirts nowadays are not only different, they're also classier. Another big change is the difference between replica and authentic shirts. In 2015, no one really cared. We'd just buy whatever was available in the club stores. But today, the authentic market is huge. And collectors, including myself, like them because they're very close to what the players on the pitch actually wear. So the fit is tighter, the materials are obviously better, and you got these heat press details we talked about before. And this means that brands now release 2 versions of the same shirt. And don't get me wrong, this is great, except for when you accidentally bought the wrong one and then realize you overspent 50 euros. Kinda unlucky, I guess. And then there is Matchworn shirts. Back in the days, this wasn't really a thing. I think Matchworn shirts were seen as this shadowy corner of this hobby. You basically had to know someone who knew someone within the club that could get you these Matchworn shirts. But now it's a full-on industry. Clubs run official auctions. Sometimes even players themselves decide to sell their Matchworn shirts. You even got platforms that are specialized in selling Matchworn shirts like matchwornshirts.com, and the prices are simply insane. I'm not gonna lie, collecting Matchworn shirts has gone from a niche side hobby to kind of this high-end collecting part of this passion. But something that has really changed football shirt collecting, in my opinion, has got to be social media. On Instagram, for example, you got collectors with 500 plus shirts like me, and on TikTok, people do these crazy 1K mystery box openings. And on YouTube, we got all types of videos. We got kit reviews, ranking videos, collection tours. Football shirts are basically everywhere. I gotta say that social media made the community bigger and more connected, but it has also made the market more competitive. I mean, a shirt can go viral in a specific video and overnight everyone wants it. But hey, I gotta say it's a fun part of this hobby as well. Like the hype, the discussions, and the drama around all these shirts definitely keep this hobby alive. And well, a bit about my collection. When I started in 2015, I didn't really have any money to buy these fancy shirts, so I decided to go for fake ones. At least these shirts look presentable and somewhat authentic when I would go to PE classes or when I would play football with my friends. Nowadays, I got over 650 shirts if I'm not mistaken, and if I counted them right, I got between 150 and 200 signed shirts by some of the best players of the world. I also got a lot of unsigned shirts. I got a lot of player version shirts as well. I got vintage shirts, I got modern shirts. My collection's gone completely crazy in these 10 years. But yeah, I've also learned a lot. I learned how to spot fake, how to print shirts myself at home, how and where to find the best deals, how to meet players as well in order to get your shirt signed. Honestly, it's been such a joyful decade. I don't think I'll ever quit this beautiful hobby. So that's how football shirt collecting has changed over the last 10 seasons. I'm really curious to know when you started collecting football shirts, so let me know in the comment section down below. I would also like to know, and this goes especially for the people who've been collecting for the same amount of time as me, what are the biggest changes you noticed? Maybe I can take all these changes from your comments and make another video about it. I want to thank you for watching this video, and of course I hope to see y'all next time.